Hey, I'm Katie Miller, a course creation coach and social media strategist navigating business, motherhood, and life while calling BS along the way. If you are tired of the overwhelming amount of information we have access to these days and are confused about where to even begin, you're in the right place. Join me as I talk with small business owners to sort it all out and give some tips to move your business forward. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. We're going to talk about what happens when you're fully booked, but you're still broke. Because a lot of people get into this mode, and we're going to talk about the psychology behind it a little bit because I love to talk about that stuff. You may not know, but my undergrad degree was in psychology. So I'd love to talk about this part of it. I don't think a lot of people talk about the reasons why behind business owners, behind entrepreneurs, but like what goes on in our brains about what holds us back. So in this online space, we're told that hitting it big is being fully booked out. Fully booked is successful. Scaling to a team is your next step. Building to an agency is what you are supposed to do. But what if that is not actually your goal? Or you're fully booked out and you're still broke. Or worse, you're exhausted. You're chasing the next client and you're constantly feeling like you are one cancellation away from having a panic attack. You don't know what you're going to do to sustain your business or your life. The thing is, without these scalable systems, full schedules cost you time, energy, and your sanity. You end up trading all these hours for dollars and not actually getting any results. The success that you're chasing has limits. Your income caps at the amount of hours you can work. And burnout, my favorite topic, is inevitable. It's going to happen. We don't want it to happen, but it's going to. Every month, you're starting over again at zero. If you ever did network marketing, which so many of us in the entrepreneur world did, then you know this feeling well. You would bust your ass for a month, make the sales, and then you would start over every month at zero. I swear on the 21st of every month, I still panic a little because that was when all of the sales were due. All the regular customers got their orders on the 21st, and that's where you knew where you stood and whether you needed to hustle even more to make your quota for the month or whatever. Still gives me anxiety on the 21st every month. Research backs all this up, and psychologists call this the effort income trap. The false belief that more effort automatically equals more success. Service providers get stuck here because it feels safe and familiar. We think that if we just put in more effort, we work harder, we have more clients, we will do just fine and we'll be successful in business. But there's actually deep psychological reasons why many entrepreneurs rely on booking clients first before looking at scalable and diversified offers like digital products. I'm going to cover what I think are the most common 5. Before I dive into these, you know here on Katy Calls BS that we go through all of the BS and then I'm going to give you what to do about it because I'm not just going to throw all this at you and say good luck to you. I'm going to give you what to do with it. So here are the top 5 reasons that we as entrepreneurs rely on booking clients first before we actually look at these scalable and diversified offers like digital products. To be honest, we shouldn't start with things like courses and digital products because we don't have clients at the beginning of our business. But at the same time, what I am realizing now is I'm fighting an uphill battle with a lot of entrepreneurs. I am fighting this battle with people who don't think they need them because they are in this stage of business or they started their businesses thinking they only needed clients. The first reason why is instant gratification. We want to make money. When you book a client, you have immediate income. Our brains are wired for short-term reward over long-term gain. Someone books your service or a coaching hour, they pay, and you feel like you have value. You sell a product like a course and that's delayed, or something that is on a wait list and it doesn't have the same dopamine hit like a client booking and paying immediately. I get that. It doesn't have the instant gratification, and boy, do we love that instant gratification. The second one is social proof and validation. One of the biggest now, especially with social media. Your booked out calendar is visible proof of demand for your services. How many times do we see that on social media We see that we are supposed to post our income. Look at this. I am booked out. I only have so many spots left. I have made X amount of dollars. Everybody must love my services. This is an external validation, much like follower count, view count, and likes on social media. It's an identity boost. That's what it is. It's all an identity boost. Digital products aren't going to give that same hit because it feels less personal. The third one is perceived control. With clients, you know that if you do X amount of work, you get a certain amount of money. If you book X amount of clients, you get that money. It feels more stable having those contracts signed. I'm going to do this for this client. It's pretty clear. But digital products require more marketing, more systems, and patience before the payoff comes. That is unstable to people. You don't see the direct correlation. It feels risky or uncertain, even though they are actually more stable. If you think about it, you can't control clients' booking, but you can control your digital products. The fourth one is survivor mode. Many of us start businesses to pay bills quickly. We go into survivor mode, and client work then turns into survival mode income. Product creation then feels like a luxury because we are so busy in this survival mode that we need to bring in clients to get our income, clients' income, clients' income to survive. That when we have a second to breathe, creating something that we want to create feels like a luxury. It feels like an extra thing. When I have time and I'm out of survival mode, I will create this thing. This keeps us in that trading time for money space, even though it's not sustainable. The last one that I think so many of us deal with is this fear of failure and perfectionism. A client contract has a deliverable. A digital product has a less clear outcome. It still has a deliverable, but it's less clear. You're putting yourself out there to a larger audience with an unclear outcome. I'm going to create this thing. I'm going to put it out there. I don't know how many people are going to buy it. So we tap into this, it might fail. And that scares us. That fear of rejection keeps us in our comfort zone. We don't want to have that feeling. We think about the what ifs, and we'd rather avoid those. We'd rather avoid the potential failure than pursue the enjoyment of potential success. Those are all things that keep us stuck in trading time for money and keep us in chasing clients. What we need to do is make this shift of balancing client work and scalable offers. It's not about doing one or the other. It's about a balance, which is what I try to tell people every week on the podcast and in my own business is it's really about a balance. People start their businesses and they go hard on client work. They go hard into, I just need to book clients. And they realize later when they burn out or when they hustle too hard, when they realize they don't want to be spending their entire day just doing one-on-one coaching or one-on-one client work or just doing service-based business and they want to add in other things, that's when they realize that they need a balance. What I'm trying to do is get people to have a balance earlier on. So how do we make that shift? When you can shift from have to be fully booked out to I need a balanced business model, there are possibilities. And it looks different for everybody because there's entrepreneurs who want flexibility. There's entrepreneurs who want a consistent cash flow. But there's entrepreneurs who want to scale. Not everybody wants to scale. You have to figure out what your goal is. For the entrepreneur who wants and values flexibility, you don't need to scale to a $1 million course empire. That might not be your thing, and that's okay. But you can add one evergreen product like a swipe file, workbook, a toolkit. That means income can still come in while you're at your kid's soccer game or while you're on vacation. You have less guilt about stepping away, which is what you want, but you're still getting that flexibility that you want. For the entrepreneur who wants consistent cash flow, I mean, I think all of us do, your client work can pay chunks at a time, but it's inconsistent. You're not getting that consistent cash flow right now, and that's scary. But digital products help smooth the gap between big invoices. An example of that is I have a client who sold a $47 template that covered her monthly software costs every single month. Less stress if a client paid late or if she didn't have a client that month. She had a digital product that could cover her tools that she needed for her business. For the entrepreneur who wants to scale, again, this is not for everybody. Your time is not scalable. You cannot add more hours to the day. As much as we would love to sometimes, you cannot create more hours. Digital products and automation, key is automation, allow you to serve 10 or 100 people with the same effort. Research on small businesses scaling show that businesses with at least one passive revenue stream are 30% more likely to grow year over year compared to service-only businesses. That's wild. So here are some ways you can make this happen. How do you do this? How do you do this without blowing up your business model? Because we're not trying to completely revamp your business model. I don't want you to listen to this podcast and be like, well, now I need to change everything. That's not what we're doing. I never want anybody to do that. What we're trying to do is make small steps with what we have. Audit your client work. What repeatable processes, templates, frameworks do you use again and again? We all have them. Client onboarding, client offboarding. What do you use for your own internal processes? I love that word. That you can package as a template bundle, as something that you can sell, as something that you can use for others in your industry. What can you do? What process do you take your people through that you can take your personal coaching out of or add video training to cut down the system? What can you do? Repeatable processes. So I want you to audit your client work. Start small. We're not trying to create a 12 module course here, okay? We are not trying to create some signature program. We're trying to create something small. This is what I tell you every single week on this podcast. I need you to start small. I don't need you to go out there and start and create something that is going to take you 3 months to create. I need you to look at what you have, look at and create a swipe file. Create a starter guide. How does someone get started working with you? What is the beginning of the process that you go through with people? What is something someone can do without diving too deep into what you do? What can they know first before they ever get to working with you? Without you going too deep into it, because I know you can and I know you want to. But what can they do first? What's that starter guide? What is something that they can get through without any help from you? Start small, smaller than you think you need to. Then I want you to automate the delivery. Because the goal with digital products is you need to be out of it. We do not need you to have a digital product where you are then in it explaining everything. If you want to do that, you need to create videos. We are not trying to add in a live element. We're not trying to make it bigger than what it is. I need you to automate it. There are plenty of platforms to do that. I have guides on that, but we don't need to worry about like how hard it's going to be to automate it. That's not the goal. You can do that through email programs. We're not trying to add in platforms here. You can put it through your email system so buyers get it instantly. It can be an instant download. It is not that hard. We are not manually sending it to people. You are not having someone sign up for it and then you are going to personally email it to people, okay? We are not doing that. Don't wait until it's perfect. Don't wait until it's perfect. Test it out. Get some feedback from that test. Just sell that one product or like do some testers, send it out to your business friends. Say, hey, I want to test this out. Can you give me some feedback? You can test it that way or sell it for even lower than what you want to sell it for. Sell it as a beta. Lots of ways to do this. Don't wait until it's perfect. Clarity always comes from the feedback. Get that feedback, put it out at the price you want to sell it for. All of this is automated, friends. We're not trying to do this hard. Okay? We're not doing that. The bottom line is being fully booked out isn't the flex that you think it is. We're not going to be like, look at me, I'm fully booked out, but I'm crashing out every night and I'm exhausted. No, we don't want that. You don't want your kids remembering you as the person who is exhausted from your business, because I can guarantee you, you didn't start your business, one, to be miserable, and two, to show your kids that having a business is the worst thing in the world. That's not what we're doing. You didn't start it to be miserable. Why would you show them that it's miserable to have a business? Why did you start it? If you were in corporate, did you leave corporate just to go back to corporate? I don't think you did. I'm guessing you didn't. It's not the flex you think it is, to be exhausted all the time, to be broke, or always chasing clients. Your time is not scalable, but your knowledge is scalable. You can use the knowledge that you have, that you started your business with, and the knowledge that you have now after you've run your business for however many years to scale something. You don't have to quit your client work unless you want to. And you don't have to pivot your entire business model, but you do need to build support around your business so it's not so fragile, so you're not broke, so you don't feel like you're falling apart all the time. Start small, package one thing, automate that delivery, let your work make money. Even when you don't want to, when you're not around, or when you're on a Zoom call, or when you're on vacation, or when you're in the carpool line, or when you're in a soccer game, wherever you are, let your work make money for you. That's what it should be doing. It should be working for you. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, this sounds great, Katy, but what should my first digital product be? I have a freebie on my website that is packed full of ideas for digital products. You can check that out, and I will put the link in the show notes. But that has a whole lot for every industry. It has a lot of digital product ideas. So I will add that here to get you started on what to do, but look at what you already have in your business and what you can take from that and turn into a digital product. It's also what I help my clients figure out in Power Hours. I'll add that link too if you want to book a Power Hour with me. But you have all that you need because remember, your knowledge is the thing that's scalable. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Katy Calls BS. You can find more information about our guest and Katy in the show notes below. Be sure to subscribe, share, and review, and don't forget to tag us.